With introverted intuition at the forefront of their thinking processes, the INFJ is notorious for diving into some of the deepest rabbit holes there is. From conspiracy theories to alternate ways of living, there's no topic that goes unnoticed by the INFJ personality type and their research skills. So, what are some of these concepts most people with this type have investigated? Welcome or welcome back, psychos. Before we get into it, we'd love it if you liked and subscribed to our channel, as well as to click the post notification bell so you never miss a video. Alright, let's get right into it. Starting with number 1, alternative living styles. If there's one thing that constantly runs through the mind of even the most successful INFJ, it's how can I make my living circumstances more true to themselves? From craving a sustainable homestead way of life to wanting the freedom of not having a home at all, the INFJ often dives in and out of the topic of alternative living styles. This earthy type is always trying to piece together just how attainable a life away from societal norms and government reliance is. They want to be closer to greenery and the ocean, have the ability to grow their own food, and yet hit the road and explore when needed. They want to be able to build something to pass down to their children and their children's children, and they want something so self-sustainable that if the world were to fall into shambles, they wouldn't be affected in the slightest. They go back and forth with themselves in their research direction from freedom living avenues such as van life, backpacking, and work trading in different parts of the world, to a more secure way of life such as farmsteading, tiny homes, and communal living opportunities. No matter the direction of their research, the running theme is always living circumstances based on independence and self-reliance. Number 2, different forms of religion. Religion and culture are topics that interest most INFJs. This philosophical type is always questioning how things came to be and seem to find some of their own opinions through the questionable teachings of various religious beliefs. They love to compare the findings and fables of the different religions in the same way they like to examine just how much religion has affected mankind in a negative manner. Through ongoing religious wars, outdated understandings, the discrediting of scientific discoveries, cultish expectations, immoral acts, and harmful customs, INFJs can easily see just how destructive religion can be when used as a tool for control and politics. Because of this negative notion, INFJs rarely get overly devoted to the expectations religious organizations set out. While different forms of religion can bring the INFJ closer to their own spiritual comprehension, it's not always the case that they find themselves subscribing to one particular faith, but instead feeling pulled to further develop their own spirituality with the use of different teachings. Number 3, celebrity conspiracy theories. Rooted in their ability to see right through the facade of the entertainment industry, it's rare to find an INFJ superfan of a singer, actor, actress, or sports player. This personality type isn't the best at keeping up with celebrity gossip, trends, and relationship statuses, but give them a good celebrity conspiracy theory and the INFJ will research non-stop until they've had their fill. From the deaths of Princess Diana, Michael Jackson, and Marilyn Monroe, to the cloning of certain celebrity figures, if it's taboo and unbelievable, you can be sure the INFJ has more than likely done their own bit of digging. Of course, being that conspiracy theories are in fact theories, this logical type doesn't research for the sake of finding a definitive answer, but rather collect all information and opinions from others in order to form a solid opinion. In relation to celebrity conspiracies, most INFJs have probably heard of concepts related to the satanic and ritualistic roots of Hollywood, the Church of Scientology, the organized crime and corrupt lawyers, and this list goes on. When it comes to the wild facade of Hollywood's glitz and glam, there's always something deeper to be explored, and the INFJ knows that firsthand. Number 4. Their own purpose. In relation to the philosophical questioning of life that points the INFJ into the direction of researching religion, there's nothing more mentally challenging to this personality type than the thought process of what their purpose in this life is. They're constantly questioning if where they're at in life is where they're meant to be, or better yet, if they're capable of doing more with their time, energy, and unique gifts. With that being said, every INFJ can probably agree that they've read a self-help article or book at least once in their lives. In fact, this type of research is often an ongoing process for the INFJ type, as the longing to find direction and meaning never seems to let up. By learning about their cognitive processes, their unique habits, and their destructive patterns, INFJs slowly but surely get an idea of how to best utilize their positive traits in this world. Once they've mastered a new skill or area in their life, they become eager to start a new one, in hopes that it will fulfill them in the same way or greater than the last. Which brings us to number 5, ways to be mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or physically healthier. Self-improvement junkies at heart, INFJs are always looking for ways to better themselves in one way or another. With internally nagging self-criticisms and obvious perfectionism, self-help books are only a small piece to the puzzle when it comes to all the ways the INFJ strives for idealism. Whether it's delving into new spiritual practices such as meditation, journaling, or breathwork, mental exercises such as reading, puzzling, or crafting, emotional efforts such as testing new forms of communication or mindfulness, or adopting new physical routines in the form of new training methods, daily supplements, or adjusting their skincare regimen. There's something about researching new health goals that INFJs tend to get quite excited about. The thing with adopting new self-improvement habits is that the INFJ needs to understand the ins and outs of whether or not it will do anything for them, as they plan on sticking to it for the long haul. From scientific research to personal success stories, this research-savvy type wants to understand things from all angles. Number 6. Types and compatibility of potential partners and friends. Horoscope charts, Enneagram types, MBTI types, and the list goes on. INFJs don't only use these typing systems for themselves, but also for those they meet. In fact, since this people-reading personality type is innately fascinated by the differences in the human psyche, behaviors, and patterns, doing their research on people's types gives them a glimpse into who they are. In addition to all the quirks the INFJ has picked up through their extroverted sensing and feeling functions, their curiosities push them to find out more about a person through the means of various typing systems. For example, it's not out of nature for the INFJ to ask a new friend or partner they're starting to care for to do an MBTI test or for their birthplace, time, and place to look up their astrology chart. Despite knowing that certain results aren't as accurate as their own perceptions, INFJs prefer to pick up any information they can in order to see if their personalities would mesh well in the long run. Of course, they don't make any irrational decisions based solely on potentially flawed information, but that's not to say their findings don't lead them to focus on observantly investigating certain traits. And lastly, number 7. The most random thoughts. In the end, it would be easier to make a list of the things the INFJ hasn't researched in their lifetime. With a mind full of vast understandings, curiosities, and philosophical views, Google is this introverted intuitive type's best friend. In fact, if you were to look at an INFJ's search history, it's guaranteed to be all over the place with very little commonalities from search to search. INFJs Google just about anything and everything that pops into their mind because they prefer their curiosities to guide them toward solid facts rather than remain as an uncertain and destinationless thought. From healthy muffin recipes to why the earth is round, an INFJ's search history gives an unforgiving peek into the oddities and random nature of the INFJ's thoughts. And although they don't technically have anything to hide, these peculiar searches could give a glimpse as to why they tend to be so protective when it comes to people using their devices. Well, psychos, that's it for today. So, would you say you've researched these concepts and topics at least once as an INFJ? Let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a video.